the Party Chat podcast. I'm your host, ISA Scout, aka. All right, well, we're starting back over. Nah, I'm
AKA,
joking. I'm joking. We're going to actually
AKA.
keep that. So this is the Party Chat. Oh my God.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
So this is
let's
the
restart.
no. This is the Party Chat podcast, everybody. We're a bunch of friends in a party chat, just ask each other questions, discuss things, and generally just have a good time enjoying each other's company. I'm your host, ISA Scout, also known as Glenn. I better not say AKA. And with me, I have a few of my friends, my brother, and we're just going to discuss things this morning. So, my brother is Dustin, aka Brain Claimer. Then we have Tyler and Tyler S, which is Tony the Tyler, and Tyler S is Woo Clop. So this morning we're going to each ask a question, and then we're going to discuss that question. The first question is, I forgot my question. Oh, okay,
You have
yeah.
to be good
So,
at a
Quit acting
game.
like me.
hey, thank you. He remembers my question. Do you have to be good at a game? I'm just posing this question to the three of you, then we'll discuss it, right? So, do you have to be good at a game to get the most enjoyment from a game? And the reason I'm asking this question is because I've thought about like how certain people will say like Jeremy, right? Really refuse to play uh games like Elden
Like
Ring.
Elden Ring, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, do you have to be good at a game to enjoy a game? I guess I just throw that
All
question
right.
out there, and you guys tell me what you guys think.
Who wants to answer first?
I'd say absolutely not. Give me just a good story or whatever. Gameplay can be crap and I'll still play it.
Yeah, yeah. I
Well,
gotta agree with that because when it comes from someone who plays League of Legends and completely sucks at it, like it's still just as enjoyable. It's still a great game.
you all know I suck at games, but I still play them.
Let me ask you this: like, if you, which you're wrong, you actually don't suck at them. Any of the games
Don't
I've
lie
played with
to
you,
him.
but do
The
you
world's gonna see this.
would you stick with a game though if you sucked at it? Like, if you really sucked at Elden Ring, like was throwing yourself at a wall, do you think that you'd have continued playing it?
Well, you're talking with Elden Ring. It's different though. I mean, I can see how you could still do that with games like League because it's League of Legends is a quick hit, then your match is over, then you can move to the next. So the sucking doesn't last as long. It's not as drawn out. Whereas Elden Ring, I feel like if you suck, you're going to
Or if you're
put
like me and you make a
hundreds
sucky
of
build.
hours. Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna spend hundreds of hours
But what if it was
trying
throwing
to
you up
build it.
against someone? You know what I mean? I guess that's you know what I mean. That's the where I come from, where it's like, what? Okay, what could get a person to overcome that feeling of I guess the reason I even
I
asked
guess
this
a
question is just how do
story.
we get Jeremy to play Elden Ring, right?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Or any From Software game for that
I
matter,
think
because I'm telling you, I'm
spectators
going to
is different.
enjoy
Like,
Armored Core when it releases,
yeah, but Tyler
and I know
S.
it's
Like,
not the
Yeah.
traditional From Soft,
when
but
when you're playing Elden Ring, right? Like, does it
Yeah.
make it easier to continue on if you have someone spectating, like watching you?
I think for me, for games, if I'm playing a single player game like that and you guys have played it before, I know that I can at least have a chance of doing decent at it and getting your guys' reaction whenever I
See,
do
that's what
something
I agree.
stupid.
yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
and that's where I think maybe
Or
our
if you're
best
able
bet
to
would be
play it
like try to get
co-op,
Jeremy to play a game like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right? That's a
Yeah.
huge thing if you can play the game co-op, right?
yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah,
so
games are always funner when you're able to talk about them, and I think that's why,
Yeah.
like with Tyler
Oh,
S,
yeah.
having them streamed and Tyler watching them last night, you know what I mean? Like it makes it easier to push on even when you're getting frustrated,
Yeah.
so you can still find enjoyment in the game.
okay, all right. Well, let's go ahead then and move on to the next question, Tyler S.
Uh, what game made the biggest impact on you and why?
That's a good question. That's a better question than mine. So who
All
wants
right, who wants
to?
to go first?
Yeah,
You gotta think.
I
well, yeah. What game?
already have
What
mine.
game? I already have mine too, actually.
Yeah, And I think everyone probably knows what my game was.
I know
Well,
what your
maybe you do.
game is. I don't know if you know mine.
Dustin's is Mad Max.
Dustin's
No,
is
yeah.
definitely Halo.
It's 100% Halo 3.
Yeah.
That game right there, just it lived. It was my, like, when I think of my childhood, it was, I don't know,
Yeah.
like all of my high school years was just like jumping on, playing with all the guys. I mean, it was a game that everyone was playing, even if you wasn't good at it, you were playing it. Because there was something in that game for everybody.
Yeah.
It was just yeah, it was just special.
It was one of a kind too. Like
I
whenever it came
I
out, that's
compare
whenever
every
like
game to that.
theater modes and
Yeah.
stuff like that was
When you could
becoming.
record your stuff,
Yeah.
or and it had the ultimate competitiveness to it with the extermination. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, did you get one of those? You know what I mean? So it was
Yeah.
like a really hard feat to do inside that. Like,
Yeah.
it was great.
Do you know? All right, go ahead. Go.
Probably have to say younger me, like GoldenEye. Now,
See, man, I was
Oh,
going to
right.
say GoldenEye, but like because GoldenEye was one of those
Yeah,
things where it's like, oh my god.
It
But
made everything.
but
game changer.
it was a game changer. It was, but the thing with me is like, so you're keeping yours GoldenEye, Tyler?
No, I'm saying younger me, like
Yeah.
before Eldrig. I'm telling you, I agree with what Dustin said the other day. It has ruined single player video games for me.
Yes,
Besides
it has.
Ragnarok, telling you.
Do you know? Here's the thing. I'm not even going to say younger me or older me. I'm just, there was one game that came out that whenever I played it, I was like, oh. Do you know what my game is, Dustin?
One game that came out and you're like, was it COD 4?
No.
No.
Nope. It was
I was
actually,
thinking that too.
and I was a teenager when it came out, right?
Mass
A lot like
Effect.
you. It was Gears of War, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Gears was the game. Like I know,
Man, you
looking
cry.
back, Gears isn't Gear. Yeah, right. Gears, looking back, is it like, oh my god, it was one of the best ever. But at the time, when it was like one of the first games where I'm like, graphics can look like this, gameplay can be like you can take cover in a game and play realistically. Not jumping around and bunny hopping everywhere, but more cover. You know, and then
Yeah.
even the story, like looking back, the Gears of War story isn't anything that's going to blow your mind. But at the time,
It was, yeah. It
yeah,
was.
at the time, it's like, oh, this universe.
There was
and this-
nothing like that, yeah.
I remember looking
It
on
was living. It was
Xbox.com at the
breathing.
screenshots like a year before the game came out, and
they
I just
did.
kept thinking, like, my God, there's no way
Is
that's
that
real.
gameplay?
Yeah, yeah.
But that's what was special about that game as well, because
That's what was special
or
about
like
the
that in
Xbox
Halo,
360
because
era, man.
yeah, it was.
Like,
It was a different. It was built different, man.
yeah,
Like,
they were
it
making
brought worlds
strides.
alive.
Yep.
All right, Tyler S. Let's hear what you got.
Well, we didn't hear Tyler's either. Oh, Elden Ring is Tyler's, right?
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Good choice.
I'd say probably MW3. Me and my cousins, we got into it late. We played a lot in high school after my dad died, and it kept our bond close. We don't live close all together all the time,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
kept that connection.
That's
See,
awesome.
so are you and your brother still close today? Like,
Yeah, when we see each other, just
but
work.
do you guys talk to each other a lot online, or?
No, because he don't play games very much anymore.
See,
He's busy being a pastor.
see, that's where games come in as like a bonding thing too, though, right? Where it draws people together.
Yep.
People say games are antisocial, and I understand it can be, but in a lot of like they
But
can
that's
also
the world.
be. Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
games are no more.
That's everything. Phones
Yeah.
phones are like the worst thing. I mean, like, if we're being honest, like, cell phones literally made people disconnected from each other.
Well, that's what, like, people that say like, "Oh, games, won't you go outside and play?" It's like the same people that say that are the people that sit for like 3 hours a day on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like,
sitting
seriously.
at the kitchen table eating dinner.
It's like,
with
at
your
least I'm
spouse while
actually
staring at the
talking to
phone.
someone. Yeah, I'm like engaging my mind too. I'm not just sitting there scrolling. There's actually
Right.
mechanics that you're exercising your brain. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Very good. So Dustin, we're down to the very last question.
No, Tyler ain't did it yet.
That's right. He has to remember
He
it.
was trying to make him last, buddy.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Tyler, never mind. You are picked
Ty-
last. All right. So my
Tyler,
question.
yeah, my bad. I actually remember Tyler's question too. It's a good question. So
What's a like game mechanic that would turn you guys off from a game?
yeah, I
Like,
liked that question.
like
Ooh.
mine's like dude, almost like a fixed camera angles will turn me off from a game quick. Like RTS is unless it's like Halo Wars or something, usually never. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
I just see what your guys'
Yeah,
opinions
the
are.
asymmetric camera angle is definitely a big turn off for me.
yeah.
The depth perception is an issue.
I'm gonna be honest, man. For me, it's the whole like if I'm playing like I know people love these games. I'm not saying they're trash, but for me, it's like the Civ 6 type games, like where it's like top down, like
You like
click.
micromanaging
Yeah,
cities and
yeah,
stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
I love the Civ games.
Oh man, I can't. It's not that I
I
don't
always try
even like,
them. They
and
look
I,
interesting to me.
yeah. It's the weirdest thing too. Like when I play them, it's like I love them. Another good example is like Medieval Dynasty. That game is incredible, and I know it's incredible from what I've played of it. But it's also one of them games where it's like I don't want to take the time to learn. You know, if I have to
Yeah.
spend 50
Yeah.
hours learning how to play a game, then I just have no interest in playing it. I'm not that learning game mechanics are bad, but I just don't want to spend that amount of time. It's the exact same.
Yeah.
Like, did you guys play Kingdom Come Deliverance? And that's not even
Nah.
that's just a regular role playing game.
I
Yeah.
watched it, but I didn't
Dude,
play it.
absolutely loved the story, but the way they did like the gameplay in it is like I understand that there's realistic sword fighting, but why not leave that in the real world and make it more gamey for people that just want to enjoy your story?
Right.
Yeah.
So for
That's
me,
the
it's that
only
whole
thing that ever turned
RTS
me.
thing,
Yeah.
the top down micromanage type stuff that I can't really stand.
Yeah. Okay.
Dustin?
Almost. I don't know if this is really a game mechanic. I mean, because if we're talking game mechanics, I guess like I would agree with you in that sense. Like those kind of games are hard for me to get behind. Like
Yeah,
whenever I saw Zoo Typhoon or something like that, whatever it
yeah,
was, on PC that I downloaded, it was it was I wanted to be able to play that, but it was just way too complicated. Like I don't know. Sometimes I feel stupid when I play those games. I just feel like I'm ignorant. Like my mind can't process it.
yeah.
But if the kind of games that I really struggle to get into is games where there's like very little game mechanics, like games where it's just like walking.
Oh yeah, like walking sims, like everybody's gone to
Like,
the rapture or something like
yeah,
that.
like where you just
Firewatch was
walk
amazing.
and
Yeah.
you do those things.
Man, I didn't care for
It's like there
Firewatch.
wasn't, yeah, I was gonna say there wasn't enough in Firewatch to like keep me
Yeah,
interested. Like you need more than one game mechanic to keep me interested in a
yeah.
game.
I
I
can
know I'm going to
understand that.
sound all stuck up here saying this, but another thing that like really bothers me is like, uh, again, these are games that I beat, but man, if it wouldn't have been for the world and stories, I would have walked away. Jedi Fallen Order and one of my favorite games of all time, Bloodborne. So for me, another game thing that makes me not be able to stay in the game is like long load times,
Oh yeah, that's just
especially
that can
being on
kill a great
PS5.
game.
Like playing The Last of Us Part Two right now, like for whatever reason, the load times are on the long side. I don't understand why. And when I say on the long side, I know this is going to sound stuck up, but I'm going to say like 30 seconds.
Well, no,
That's extremely long. Whenever like these next gen systems have got you used to like one
and let's be
second,
real.
2 second
I was
load
gonna
times.
say, let's be real. Jedi Fallen Order when it came out was just
That's the only
it was
reason I never
broken.
beat that game.
Yeah, the load
I
times
mean,
still
what's the
suck
reason why
on
I
that
didn't beat it
game,
on Jedi Master is because it was like, wow, you
and I
sat there
don't
for 2
understand.
minutes from
Yeah,
falling off a cliff. It's like seriously,
yeah,
wasn't even a boss fight.
yeah. Well, the thing too is that like you said, you don't even have to be fighting anyone. You can accidentally slip off the edge. Like at least in Bloodborne and stuff, if it was like you fell to your death, it was a quick respawn. But uh,
Yeah, no, I
yeah,
agree. I agree.
um, And I agree. That's
Yeah.
what kept me from playing it on a higher difficulty. Um, but yeah, Bloodborne. And what I don't understand about Jedi Fallen Order is the load times are still too long, even when you re-download it on like a next-gen system. You would have
Yeah.
thought
No,
that
I agree. I
yeah,
I tried it on PC and I thought maybe it's because I was like, well, don't I have an SSD on
no
this thing?
faster on
It should
PC.
be, but it's like no, it's not.
Oh wow.
It's really not. Not than what it is on PS5.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's one thing I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to with Jedi Fallen Order or Jedi. What is it called? Jedi
Survivor.
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 Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to with that game. Is like the new I'll say this, and this is completely off topic, but Jedi Survivor has a uphill battle that coming out after Ragnarok, and both games are like extremely similar. Like Jedi Fallen Order is exactly like the first God of War minus the story setting and characters. I'm saying like the core gameplay is exactly the same.
Yeah, I can't fault him for trying to copy though.
Oh no,
Yeah.
absolutely, I agree. But that's what I'm saying. After Ragnarok, Jedi Fallen Order better have like extremely fast load times, and as much as I loved it, it better have like. Remember how many glitches that game and bugs that game had? Like it had a bunch of bugs
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
annoying things, like unblockable attacks for them dudes that would come up out of the ground and stuff. Like cheap deaths. It has a
Yeah.
lot to live up. But
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about Respawn, so I have faith that the sequel will be like.
I do too.
Look at
Me too.
Titanfall 2 compared to Titanfall 1.
Yeah.
Titanfall 2 is like top best first person shooters ever made.
Yeah, and
He
yeah,
gave us
we
another
won't
one.
even get into that.
Yeah, that's a topic for another podcast.
Yeah, because
Mm.
yeah, talk about how they
Well,
killed their game.
right. Well, see, that's to our viewers, that's one of the things that we'll do more as we this is just our first episode. We're just kind of figuring this out, but as more as we get better at it, we'll start to let topics naturally
Yeah.
move into other topics. But this is just, I guess, like the maiden voyage of the Party Chat podcast. So we're going to go ahead and end it there. That way, I can figure out
Hey, no,
the
we're
whole
not.
setup.
We're
Oh,
gonna let me
dude,
ask my
we have
question.
your
This boy
question.
didn't try to kill Tyler's. He only
I,
want to do two
I
questions.
got. We got to get different
now we have to
moderators
start
here.
all back over. No, I'm joking. Yeah, go ahead,
All right,
bud.
all right. So the question I have is, what game do you think, and this can go multiple ways, what game do you think was the biggest disappointment and why? Or, and this can be like few games that are out or games that are coming up
Oh
that you
God,
think will
that's
be a
a
disappointment.
hard one, man. I think
Biggest
I, I think I
disappointment.
think I know yours, Dustin, because it's mine.
All time. I mean, so,
All right, so yeah, just go ahead
I'll go
and
last. No, I'll go
okay,
last.
okay.
I'd say Cyberpunk
Boy, that was a good
when
one,
it
Tyler.
first came out.
Mm.
Cyberpunk. When it first came out, if you're going off like that, No
Mm.
Man's Sky was a big disappointment when it
Oh,
first came out.
man. No
Talking to
doubt. I
somebody
got a
that loved
refund.
it, bro. I platinumed that game when it came out. I still love No Man's Sky.
I was falling through the world.
I
Yeah.
remember that's why you quit playing it, Dustin. You kept
Yeah.
falling through the playing it.
It was annoying.
But they've made it a lot better.
Oh, it's a completely different game.
Yeah,
That's
you
why I
got
said
kind of
people
got to
that
give him
complain
props.
about people that complain about No Man's Sky now is like, all right, now you're just hating on it because
Well,
they've
well,
changed everything for
well,
for
we
free.
live in a generation. Yeah, well, we live in a time now to where it's nothing for developers to release broken games. Like you kind of expect it anymore. But it really comes down to like within the first 6 months, what are they able to do?
Yeah,
To kind of
it's
bring
sad
people
that that's what we have to
or
expect now, though.
entertain
Ain't it?
people. No, it is. But that's where it comes down to like, can they fix their game? How fast are they gonna fix their game? How are they gonna keep people interested in the game after
Yeah.
that? So,
So
all
No
right,
Man's Sky for Tyler S. Tyler, what would you say yours is?
Tyler said
Mine?
Cyberpunk.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right. Cyberpunk. So what was it for Cyberpunk for you that made it? Uh,
I mean, it
a
was
disappoint.
just game was game felt amazing at the beginning, and then it just felt like everything just hit a wall, and it just they had to hurry up and just take the middle of the game out and put the ending in.
I feel you.
uh, I don't know. It's
For
that
me,
or
what was you getting ready to say? It's that or what?
I was nah. You're good. Go ahead.
Uh, Man, that's a hard question because I instantly my mind goes to 3 video games.
I got 2 in my head, but I'm not gonna name the one.
The one that I know, you know,
Superman
and we both know.
64.
You can
No,
keep your mouth shut on that one, Glenn.
we won't even talk about that. I'll save that for you. I'm gonna leave the third game out of my list because I'm gonna leave it for Dustin to bring up, but he knows what I know. Okay, that's all I'm saying. So, barring that game, I come down on Anthem and Mass Effect Andromeda. For me,
Yeah,
it's
Anthem.
Mass Effect Andromeda
Those are great.
because Mass Effect
Anthem.
Andromeda had like a freaking pedigree to live up to, and I've tried to
But
re-download that game 4 times and cannot play it. It is so bad.
The beta
uh,
was so good for Anthem,
it was.
and the actual game just fell
Was
through.
just
We
yeah,
tried. We
and we
bought
still
it. We
bought
even
it
bought it
just
for
yeah.
people
Yeah,
so
just
that
to
we
try
could
to
try
get them
playing it with it.
to. Yeah, but Mass
It
Effect
had
Andromeda
fun.
though, like how did that game suck? Whenever it's like you had 3 prior games again, they screwed up
Well,
the ending for Mass Effect 3, but even then, it's like the their swan song was incredible except for the last 5 minutes. But how do you screw up Mass Effect Andromeda to the point where a huge like you guys know I was a huge Mass Effect nerd, man, like
yeah.
huge. Read the books and stuff. It's like you did such a poor job. I have never made it more than 5 hours into that game.
Right.
Yeah.
I
So
think I made it
that's
about
mine.
10 with that little Humvee thing you got to drive around. It's
Yeah.
like, man.
But boy, and it's sad that both those games are Bioware games because I love Bioware games like Dragon Age and KOTOR, like Mass Effect. But yeah, Anthem and Mass Effect Andromeda. But I would give it to Mass Effect Andromeda. So Dustin, what about you?
All right. All right. So hear me out. So I
Go ahead and
would.
mention the game.
Okay. I'm going to mention the 2. Okay.
Okay.
Then I'm going to defend one, and then we'll move on.
Okay.
Okay. So
Don't you defend the one I think you're going
I'm
to
going to.
defend.
So the biggest disappointment I believe would be Battlefield 2042.
That's a good one to be
Um,
disappointed. Yeah.
Simply because when it came out, it was 100%
Still never got my
unplayable.
money back from that game.
Yeah, it was 100% unplayable
Yeah.
for those that didn't have super high speed internet.
Yeah,
And
we couldn't
then
even
whatever,
play it at the time because we
no,
didn't have
couldn't even get past
Starlink.
a menu. Yeah. I only got to play it because I hooked it to my phone on hotspot, and I was able to get past the menu, play a few matches, and then it literally broke my PlayStation 5.
Yeah. Oh God,
So
I
that was a
forgot about
pretty, yeah,
that. I
pretty big
forgot about that.
disappointment. Had to
Oh
send it
yeah.
in, take like 2 weeks to get my place. It
Thank
was
God
bad.
you had an Xbox.
Yeah, that's what I kind of went on my Xbox fix there for a while. The other game though that I'm going to mention would be, and this is why I'm going to compare the two, would be Halo Infinite.
Oh wow, you're not defending Halo Infinite?
Hold on,
Okay.
it
So that's the game I
Halo
was
Infinite.
talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Halo Infinite. Now, given I have more time in that game than what I should, but the gameplay for that game is perfect. And this,
It
like I
is.
said,
It is.
going back to Tyler S.'s question, Halo my favorite game when I was a child. Halo always is going to hold like a special place for me. So Halo Infinite, for me to say it had the best gameplay, is like that's a pretty
Yeah.
yeah.
We
So
just need
well,
we
the
just need
problem.
someone else to have control of Halo. That's honestly
Yeah,
that's what
and I
comes
was
down.
gonna say what I said earlier about if a game developer, it all comes down to like how they treat it, how if they within 6 months what they can do, and I look at games, and the reason why I'm going to compare Halo Infinite with Battlefield is because I feel like Battlefield
I feel like
has actually did what they need to. Like, I don't know if people
as crazy as
re-downloaded
it
that game
sounds,
to
I
play
was
it.
getting ready to agree with you on that, dude.
Yeah, because Halo,
They've
Battlefield
done
is
more
now one of those
things
games where
at
if
a
you try,
quicker
it's like,
pace,
wow, I
have
can
they
see they've.
not? I mean,
Yeah,
I
they
haven't
have, and
played
they've
it, but it just
listened.
seems to me like they've done more.
Yeah, and they've listened to their community. You know, they've got classes in it. They've added new maps. They've did all these
Didn't
changes.
they do a battle pass, like a seasonal battle pass?
They did.
Probably
It just
better than
feels,
Halo's.
yeah, it feels more.
Here's a
I
piece
don't know.
of
It feels
shoulder
more
armor.
modern, like they
Wait 10
fixed.
levels,
Yeah,
and we'll give you the
I was
left
getting ready to
side.
say. Then you go over to Halo Infinite, and we're past a year of it being released.
That's
The
crazy to
game
say that.
has, no split screen co-op. It's in beta right now. The game has online co-op that was added like 2 months ago. The multiplayer is dropped off. Forge is out as of like a month ago, but in the same sense, you only have
Yeah.
the Forge is only playable
And
for
then they
those if you
banned
have
certain
enough
people
friends
for
that are
weird
actually still
things.
playing it.
Did you see that?
You know what I mean?
They banned that dude for having like a weed level. They banned him from using Forge at all now. It's like,
See, I mean, you can't
shouldn't
really
be
do that when
banning
you don't have a
people
community.
yeah. Yeah. Especially
Like,
for
and that's
that.
what
It's
kinda
not like he
sucks.
made a cocaine level either. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing.
Can I
Like,
ask
if
a
they had their
question?
Forge modes on, in a browser to where it's like, okay, we're
Yeah.
gonna like how Halo 3 had our featured Forge mode of
Yeah.
the week,
Then
and
you have
then you
content
would
coming
just
in
play
and
that
out
all week.
constantly.
Yeah. But right
Yeah.
now it's like, okay, so I can get on this guy's level and play Bikini Bottom or whatnot, but
But I have
I
to
can only
look
play
at,
it with my friends.
yeah.
Well, guess what? I have no friends that are playing that game anymore because it sucked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
it
I have a
kinda
question then. You
killed
said
their
you had a game you were going to mention and defend. I'm not going to say the name, but I'm guessing, does it have an O in it?
I'm not bringing that up. We're not talking about that game.
Or what, are you waiting for that game to talk about it later or something?
No, we're not bringing it up.
Is that the game you said you were going to defend?
No, that game's not. I knew what
What's
I
the-
thought you were going to assault it, and I was gonna have to come in as
Oh, okay. No, that game wasn't I mean, it disappointed, but it wasn't like that disappointing compared
It
to.
wasn't on the level of the games that we just brought up.
No, it didn't suck either. That's the difference. Like,
Yeah.
the games that we brought up had fundamental things that made the games like even
Tyler,
Halo
that's what
Infinite,
you're laughing about.
as great
I
as
just realized what you guys are talking about.
You better shut up, Tyler.
we'll leave that for the fans to discuss, and then we'll bring it up in another podcast.
Yeah,
After we're done
comment
filming
down
this.
below what game you think we're talking about. That
Yeah,
starts with
yeah.
an O.
Yeah, and maybe we'll actually bring that up in the next podcast. So we're done filming this podcast. We hope everyone enjoyed it. Like I said, moving forward, it'll be much more curated and will flow better from topic to
We'll try to
topic.
get-
I'll
get
try not
ISA
to.
to remember things.
Yeah, I'll try not to cut everybody off
He's
like
acting
an
like
idiot.
me.
Yeah. So we hope you all enjoy. And also, we have another friend, cousin, Second Covenant, that wasn't able to be in today's podcast, but he will definitely be in future podcasts. And these podcasts,
Jeremy. His
yeah,
name's Jeremy.
Yeah.
He's the one we were talking about.
yeah. So it'll be fluid. Sometimes certain people will be guests in the podcast, sometimes they won't. But we hope you enjoyed, and we hope you stick around for our next podcast. And y'all have a good day.